like that, and a tournament like that, a season like that. The emotions of the initial disappointment is paramount, and then you have great feelings of pride to be able to coach a group of young men that are this tough and this resilient. It's a special feeling as well, and so we've got a lot of emotions, and we tip our hat to Creighton for making one more play. You know, it's come down to a three-point shot to tie the game, but the positive is a couple positives. Number one, we're going to continue playing in the NCAA tournament, and there's still the opportunity to win in the NCAA tournament, which is a feeling that none of those guys in that locker room have experienced. And there's also the feeling I have that ultimately, if the group in that locker room sticks together, there will be some championships to be won as a group. And when that happens, we'll try to make sure and remember these seniors, Carl, Ahime, Malcolm, and Dimitri, in some way.
Questions for our student athletes, Malcolm Armstead, Carl Hall, and Ron Baker. Get your hands up and we'll get the microphone to you. Again, state your name and your affiliation, and we'll start on the left.
Paul Solontrop, Wichita Eagle. Hey, Malcolm, just take us through the last sequence, you getting the ball and coming up court, and how it kind of unfolded from your view.
I came off a screen and kind of switched it, so I didn't get a good look like I should have. But maybe I should have went to the rim to try to get a quick 2-for-1, but, took a tough shot and didn't convert it.
Questions, more questions, please. Get your hands up. We'll get the microphones to you quickly. Anyone else? Again, on the left, second row.
Carl, could you talk about just Echenique and his influence in the game? Was great battle in there between you two. How tough is he to kind of navigate around?
He's just big, and he make it tough on you, trying to score over or going through him. So I was just trying to drive him to the basket instead of trying to go through him sometimes. He just make things difficult on the block because of his weight and size.
Again, on the left, second row, please.
Bruce Hurdle, KWCH. Guys, big-time atmosphere, big-time matchup, two big-time programs getting after it. Can you just give us a sense for the feeling out there? It just looked like a knockdown, drag-out right from the get-go.
Ron, why don't you start with that one, please?
To me, it felt like, we were Muhammad Ali out there, boxing the whole time and went through all the rounds. We were on the ropes there after the last media timeout, and, we fought back. And just, like Coach said, we came up one play short, and, I think we're excited for our future in the next couple weeks.
Carl?
Man, it was just two tough teams out there fighting. Both teams wanted to win, but only one could win. So we was just trying to keep battling and trying to stay in the game, and they was doing the same. We both teams were getting on the floor for loose balls, and man, somebody gonna come up short at the end, and just so happened to be us today.
Malcolm, your thought?
Pretty much summed it up. These two pretty much summed it up.
Okay. Other questions? Again, on the left, towards the back.
Raul Cortez with KSN. Was the floor an issue? I mean, they came out, kept wiping the floor down with towels. Excuse me. Was that an issue today? I mean, did it seem to be a problem?
Malcolm, why don't you start with that one?
Repeat, say that again. Okay.
The floor is being wet. There was towels out there every play, almost every timeout. Was that an issue for you guys?
Oh, yeah. I feel like it kind of, sometimes we went on a run and then we have to stop it, to wipe the floors and stuff like that. So that kind of, slows you down and slows the game down a lot. But, sometimes you got to play through it. It's a little bit of adversity, so you can't really give it an excuse.
Again, on the left in the second row, please.
Paul Solontrop, Wichita Eagle. Hey, Carl, I guess two things. First, did you get a finger on Manigot's layup there at the end? It looked like you were really close. And second, if you could just talk about doing a better job on Doug McDermott than in Omaha, how that worked out.
Yeah, I kind of got a fingertip on it. I kind of got out of position because I was guarding I was guarding McDermott. He just made it hard for me because you can't help as much. You got to try to stay with him. So, but back to guarding him though, you just got to try to make things difficult for him and crowd him and try to take away his looks at the basket when he face up. You have to try to get up close on him and make him put it on the floor. So I was just trying to make things difficult for him.
Again, on the left, third row.
Mary Rachel Redmond, KSNW. What do you guys take away from this heading into the NCAA tournament?
Malcolm, why don't you start?
Take away the positive things. You know, we had a couple good plays down the stretch. You know, we did good things, but you know, also you got to take away the negative things to get better, so you won't be in the bad end on this situation. So you got to look at the good and the bad to take away to get better as a team.
Carl, your thought?
We just got to execute better down the stretch and make free throws. You know, I missed a lot of free throws down the stretch that hurt us in the end, and we just got to stay positive, man. It's a new season coming up in like a week and a half, I think. So we just going to try to go back and get focused and get back to what we do.
Ron, something you'd like to add?
I feel like we just need to keep executing, you know, stay together, break this film down, and go from there. And just, I mean, we'll stay positive and together, and we'll see where that takes us.
Again, another question on the left.
Ron, could you kind of give us a sense for guarding Creighton and the screens and the motion, how they get guys open as well as they do? What's that like to defend?
They communicate pretty well on the offensive end. You got to have your head on a swivel at all times. I mean, they got shooters everywhere. Sometimes you get out of position and you turn around and bam, the three ball's up. So it's a tough team to guard. I give them a lot of credit for executing on offense.
Last question of this session for the Shockers. We'll have one more on the left, second row, please.
Yeah, if all three of you could just kind of talk about NCAA tournament, you're in great shape for that, and how that helps kind of, you know, make this a little bit less of a dark day.
For me, it's going to be my first experience in the NCAA tournament. I was redshirting last year. Just sitting on the bench, it was a remarkable experience. Just the way they treat you and stuff like that. But I'm excited. I'm excited for my teammates, my family, and you know, I'm ready.
Carl, your thought?
It's just a fresh start for the team, and I hope we have a different outcome this year in the NCAA tournament, and I'm excited about it. I'm excited for my team.
And Malcolm?
Well, you know, it's been a lifetime dream for me. I've never played in the NCAA tournament, so, you know, that's something I've always dreamed about doing. So, you know, just trying to take it one day at a time now to get better and to get the team better.
Gentlemen, thank you for your time and attention. Congratulations on a great effort this afternoon, and good luck in the postseason. They will return to their locker room where they'll be available. Now, questions for Coach Marshall, please. Again, get your hands up quickly. We will get the microphones to you, and we'll keep the session moving along. On the right, front row, please.
Greg Bob Lutz, Wichita Eagle. Your last possession, did you consider a timeout, or do you like having a situation where maybe you can catch them on their heels a little bit?
We had a couple of options called, Bob, if they make or miss. And in the end, we went to the same play that we had against Illinois State at Illinois State with a little pick and pop with those guys, and they really defended it well. I mean, it was a great play by them, and, you know, in retrospect, I could have called timeout and tried to set something up, but I generally like to let the players play. We had a timeout right before that. We gave them every scenario, down 1, down 2, down 3, or down 4. And we were down 3, and Malcolm had a tremendous game. You know, he has 28 points. I don't know who switched out on him, but someone defended him very well, and we couldn't get it back to Klee. So, but Malcolm had a few stare-down threes in that situation, so I felt good with I think a big guy. What they did is they defended the three-point line, which is a good call by them. And shot didn't go. Had a chance.
Other questions? Hands, please. Any questions? Second row on the left.
The level of competition between the two programs as a competitor, being in that game, being in that, on that stage, can you just give me a sense for the energy, the adrenaline, and everything that goes with it, not to mention a guy down on the other end that moves his X's and O's pretty well too?
Yeah, I think that they're a really good team. They really execute well offensively. They've got some big guys in there that pounded us early on the offensive glass. I mean, Artino and Ishinique in like the first 6 minutes had 7 offensive rebounds, and we did a much better job in the latter part of the game. You know, they're a quality team, and they played very good basketball. We let Raggi in the first half and Manigat in the second half get too good of looks, you know, and you can't let them have those wide open looks, and we did that. Great atmosphere, big time stage, national television. I figured it would be a great game, but we had to play well at the end to make it a one possession game. But that's the thing that I enjoy coaching this group so much, is they are beyond a reasonable doubt one of the toughest groups that I've ever dealt with, and I've been coaching since 1985. I don't even know how long ago that is, but it's a long time. And no matter what they faced all year, they just continue to fight, and they continue to try to find a way to win. And that's their greatest attribute, is their perseverance, and they just decide that, well, we're down 10, there's 5 minutes to go. Okay, here we go. This is going to be our run, and they're positive, and you know, we don't shoot it great until the very end, but then we make some shots, and there you go. Now it's a 1-point game we just need a stop, and they make a great play. But I really enjoy because they don't die. You know, they just will not go away. In any game or during the season, there was many times when you lose 3 starters, you can easily do that. And at the same time, I'm just disappointed that they haven't cut nets down yet. You know, this senior group didn't get to cut down nets, but I do believe that the group that's in that locker room will do so many times. I don't know how many, but I think it'll be multiple times in the next 2-3 years. So, and we get to, you know, lick our wounds and go back and try to get better, and that's the mood. As much disappointment as we have, and as much congratulatory message that we send to Creighton, you know, Greg and I said, let's both go win multiple games in this tournament. And it's possible. That's very possible with this group. We just have to make some shots, and getting Ron back now and adding to him in our fold. Malcolm was outstanding today. I mean, he and Carl and all of them, they fought so hard. Both teams did. It was a great basketball game.
Front row on the right.
Greg, I would think as a coach, that was a fun game to coach, and it looked like both coaches were really trying to find combinations all day long. You look a little bit under the weather today. How do you feel about that? Is it?
I don't know if fun is the right word for coaching a basketball game like that, Bob. You know, you may think it's fun, and people may, you know, that don't coach. And I'm not saying it's not an enjoyable experience, and I'm not happy to do it, but there's so many decisions. It's hard. It's hard to do. You love it, but it's it's a labor of love because it's hard. It's emotionally taxing, the ups and downs. It's physically demanding. I mean, Dr. Bardo promised me I could take tomorrow off, and I'm going to try to sleep in. I need it. You know, my staff needs it. I'm tired. I have a cold, and I'm tired. Just a slight cold, but I need a day off. So we get it. We get to rest, and hopefully the guys can heal their nicks and bruises, and we can start getting better on Wednesday.
We'll have two more questions on the left to close the session.
Danny Spiewak, Slam Magazine. Coaches, you look at the NCAA tournament, the way, now that you've got your depth back, you've got some injuries healed up, do you feel like, is this a team that's built to play out-of-conference opponents that aren't ready for you?
Actually, we don't have all of our depth back because one of our starters is still out, Evan Wessel, and he will redshirt, hopefully medically redshirt. He played the first 8 games and was our best three-point shooter. I always like to remind people of that because people forget. They didn't know Baker, and Baker made a pretty good impression, I think. He's going to be a good player for the next couple of years. Yeah, I do think so. I think Creighton, because of their offensive ability, and McDermott and the way, and Raggi and Ishinikwe, they've got some great players. Coach McDermott, they won a game last year, and I think they're better this year. And I think our team, simply because of our toughness, the things that I talked about earlier, and I think the way we defend, I mean, we didn't shoot it great tonight, but that's kind of our MO. If we shoot it in the 40s, we usually win. Tonight we're 34%. And it was a war. I mean, it was both ways. If you didn't go in there with some malice, you weren't going to be able to put it in the basket. So I think, you know, not too many teams, because of the grind and the value, you learn to play like that, and I think that'll help both of us in the postseason. I hope so.
Last question here on the left, second row.
Yeah, the toughness and that attitude you're talking about, and Malcolm kind of showed a lot of that tonight. You were kind of struggling on offense, and he really stepped up there in the first half. I guess his performance tonight was pretty important.
Yeah, he was dynamite. I mean, 28 points, 3 assists, 1 turnover, 4 steals. Shooting percentage was very good. He carried us in a lot of ways offensively, and I thought he was tremendous in the semifinal game. I'm certain that he's got to be all tournament. But here's a guy that exemplifies what I'm talking about. I mean, he's out there playing 35 minutes and stayed positive the entire time. Didn't matter what the spread was, how many points we were down, whether we were up. Tried to direct our team, and he paid his way to come to school at Wichita State last year because he wanted to win. He wanted to go to the NCAA tournament. So how can you not be happy and proud of him? Disappointed that he didn't get to cut the nets down today. Disappointed that he's not MVP if he's not, which I don't think they'll give it to someone who's runner-up. But, I mean, that's the kind of kid that we're coaching in that locker room. It's a pretty special group. And, you know, I've cut down nets in conference tournament championships. I've won games in the NCAA tournament. These seniors are the ones that I want to have a chance to experience that. So, didn't get this one. Didn't get the regular season. Now we can see if we can advance in the NCAA tournament.
Coach, thank you so much. Good luck in the continued in the postseason.